Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Grant Mitt. For those that you don't know me, I'm an entrepreneur and CEO of one of the fastest growing companies in the country, Mitt Group, as well as host from the Grant Mitt Podcast. So I want to talk to you guys about what top 1% earners have, what qualities, what traits, and how to become one. And I learned this first through becoming that person myself from scratch. 5-6 years ago, I was sleeping on a family member's couch. I was broke. And I got a sales job, then we went bootstrapping a company successfully. And I learned so much, and I still am now. So my goal is to help you not go through the same problems that I've been through so you can be successful even quicker, help your family, and help the people around you. Okay, so number one, successful people, the top 1% earners, are not jealous. I talked to Grant Cardone about this. I had him on my podcast. I'll put it in the description below. And he's like, dude, you tell a billionaire that you just made $100 million, he'll give you a hug, buy you a drink. And so tell me about it, man. What made you get in that industry? What'd you guys learn? We've had this problem. What worked for you there? Winners are not jealous. If you're around people and they just got a dream job, their business was successful, they just met the dream girl or guy, and you feel jealousy in you, you have to work on that. You have to work on that because there is abundance and there's no shortage of success. There's enough for everybody. And let me tell you something. When you're around really successful people, it rubs off on you. And you know what, most importantly, you can learn from them. I love talking to entrepreneurs, having conversations as who's lost the most money and how do we lose it. And there's times I've lost crazy amounts of money that I learned from. It was miserable, but it made me a better entrepreneur and CEO and leader. I have friends that at times have lost, I have a friend that lost $100 million and had to gain it back. And he learned so much from it. But I've also seen certain friends build unbelievably successful businesses, brands, and done incredible things. And it makes me so inspired. I just love talking to people. I even will have people come up to me, whether it's I'm at a bar, I'm at a restaurant, I'm just out running errands, whatever the case may be. And they're like, hey man, I listened to your content. And in the last 6 months, I just got into sales. Now I'm the #1 sales rep in my company. I just won an award to go to Europe or something. I'm like, man, that's incredible. What worked for you? What was the difference between when you started versus now? And I'll sit there and listen to them. And not only is it inspiring, but I'll learn something from them. I'll learn something in their sales process or the way they handle certain markets or why they got into that specific industry. Get excited, guys, about life. If you're sitting at home judging people for going after things that you want, guys, you're just not going to be successful like you could be. Every one of you has so much potential. And I'm not saying this to be motivational because we all have unique talents and skill sets. You have to use them and you have to learn from other people. Okay, the next thing is the top 1% takes massive action. I just had a podcast. I was just on a podcast interview. And he was asking me about imposter syndrome and why people don't take action. And when I was kind of going through it, I was like, you have anxiety and anxiousness through an action. It's an action that makes you stress. Think about when you actually get anxious or worried about your future. Is it when you're making 100 calls? Is it when you're writing emails and working nonstop? Is it when you're in the middle of the workout? Maybe a little bit, but not much, if at all. It's when you're sitting down at bed and it's 9 o'clock at night and you're like, oh my God, what if I don't do this? Or when you're driving alone in your car and you're worried about if you're going to hit your numbers or the business is going to hit the sales that you want. But when you're taking massive action, you can't even feel stressed because you're in the middle of the game. And that is the biggest thing, is if you're feeling any ounce of stress right now, you're worried about if you're going to hit the target. I want you to finish this video and stop watching. You can come back and watch my channel later. I want you to go write down 3 things that would grow your business and go do them. Don't strategize about them. Don't make sure it's perfect. Go. Get in wherever you need to do and make those calls, make those posts, write those emails, do something that's going to make something happen. In football, they say, if you don't know what to do, go hit somebody. It's like, go take action. Everything that I've ever accomplished, and I know I'm young, but I've done a lot of cool things. And I did them without any help from anybody else. I just winged it and I just showed up. And it was when I did something I felt uncomfortable about. There's times, I remember one time I was stressing about something with work I said, you know what, I got to make these videos. And now I'm more consistent and I put out a lot of content for you guys. But early on, like I was just running businesses and I would just make it on the side. I said, I'm going to make a quick video. And then I go to lunch. I look at my phone and it's already at 100,000 views, scaled to over 1 million views. I went from 30,000 to 100,000 followers on my TikTok in like 2 days, 2-3 days. It was because of one video I didn't feel like making. There's times I've gone to an event that I did not feel like going because I wanted to work instead, just within my company, but I knew I needed to meet some people and I ended up meeting people that altered my life forever. I just went to an event in DC and I was speaking at it. I was telling someone, I was not nervous. I was talking in front of 500 people. The head of the Republican Party was there and I felt as calm as could be. But I went to another event at an embassy. It had 200 people there. I only knew 3 people there. Do you think that made me feel good? No. I'm an introvert. I think I'm good at talking, but I was nervous. These people didn't give a shit if I was running a business. And so I had to learn to communicate with people that weren't in the arena that I was in. And they said, oh, I'm podcasting this. And they're like, what? Let's connect. And I was like, okay. But when I told them I was an entrepreneur, they didn't care, but that's what drove them. So I got to learn how to communicate, and I ended up meeting 10, 15 really, really quality people who were doing incredible things and ended up bridging like these unbelievable connections that are just crazy to think about. And it's because I was nervous, but I went anyways. I was alone, and I went up and just said, hey, how you doing? I'm Grant. What do you guys do? Where are you guys from? That didn't feel good, but I still met really quality people. And so that's the type of things to do. I felt like I didn't want to go. I would rather just chill and relax and work, do my own thing, be in something I'm comfortable in. But I went anyways, and great things happen. And the key is this. This is what I tell entrepreneurs all the time. I was talking to this entrepreneur. She has this, she's an ad agency. She's scaling, super young. She's like, Grant, I just feel stressed. I feel like this. And I was like, well, walk me through her day and walk me through her stuff. And she wasn't delegating properly. And there's a couple different things that we talked about. What I told her is, this is supposed to feel like this. Building a company is not supposed to feel good. You're supposed to feel tense. You're supposed to feel anxiousness at times because you're doing something you've never done before. And you're growing into the unknown and becoming a person that it's going to take to do these incredible things. And I was like, and when I said that, she was like, because it was a weight off her shoulders, because she's like, I'm not the crazy person. And if you're listening to this video, maybe you're not an entrepreneur, maybe you are, but you want to become successful at what you do, you have to be bold and go after things that you've never done before. Okay. The last thing is the top 1% is always learning. I've been with people who are worth $100 million, $1 billion, and we're having a conversation back and forth. My business, their business, what worked for me, what didn't, what worked for them. We're just shooting the shit, having a good time. And they'll say, whoa, I love that. Let me write that down. And they put it in their notes. I love that. Do you have that link? Can you send that to me? Or I'll tell them about a podcast or something I listened to. I loved it. They're like, can you send it to me? They're eager to learn. And a couple of these guys are 20, 30, 40 years older than me. And they're trying to learn from me. I'm like, man, I need to learn from you. Stop asking me questions. I need to ask you questions. And you can learn something from everybody. And sometimes it comes from someone you would never expect. Because sometimes people who are too involved, they know too much of the analytics and details and insights that they don't get an outside perspective. And, I'll be an Uber driver, or I'll be in an Uber and I go, hey, what do you do? And they'll tell me, they're like, I just Uber and then I do this on the side. I'm like, well, why'd you move to Austin? Why do you do this? Why is this? What is that? What do you see? What type of people ride with you? What are they saying about this? What are they saying about the election? What restaurants you like? Oh, I love this. Well, why do you like this? Oh, we like going to this part of town. Really? What's better about that part of town than the others? I'll learn so much because I'm getting unfiltered information that I can put in my head to make better decisions in life and business and just know more. Great people are curious. They're always learning. The world is developing at such a rapid pace that it's important to stay ahead of it and learn as fast as possible. So hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're an entrepreneur looking to scale your business, hit the link below. And if you guys want to check me out on social media, you can find me at Grant Mitt. Other than that, I'll see you guys soon.